The problem about the European Parliament is that it does not represent the views of the voters. There are various comparative studies, opinion polls, and they show that the parliamentarians in Strasbourg and Brussels are much more centralist than the voters. And I think the explanation is that the parliamentarians have a vested interest in centralization, because if they transfer competencies to the European Union, then of course their own power will increase, then they have more competencies. And also there is a self-selection effect. That means that people who are Europhile, Euromantic, are more likely to run for the European Parliament than Eurosceptics. So what can be done? My proposal, and it's the proposal of a group to which I belong, the European Constitutional Group, is that we add a second chamber to that parliament, and the delegates of that chamber would come from the national parliaments. They would be delegated, so they would be at the same time members of the national parliaments and of the second chamber of the European Parliament. And they would not have a vested interest in centralization. And also I suggest that these people would be selected by lot, so by accident. So there cannot be a self-selection. So they would be representative of their own parliamentary groups. Yeah, the problem about centralization is that it increases the power of the state over the government. The government of a small country has to be very careful if it raises taxes or imposes regulations, because the citizens can easily leave, they can export their capital, and also they can easily compare the performance of this small state government with the performance of neighboring governments. However, if you have a big state, if you have an empire like in China in the past centuries, then you cannot escape and you cannot compare. And therefore, large states, empires, have higher taxes and higher regulations. They restrict the freedom of the individual. And this explains why modern science and industry rose in Europe, which was politically fragmented, decentralized, and not in China or India or the Ottoman Empire. There will be an impact because the main drivers of the past policy in Germany, the Minister of Finance, Wolfgang Schäuble, and the Foreign Minister, Westerwelle, will be ousted. They'll have to go. The Foreign Minister has to go because the Liberal Party didn't get into Parliament, his party. And the Minister of Finance will have to go because the next government will very, very probably be a coalition between the Christian Democrats and the Social Democrats. And the Social Democrats have traditionally claimed the Ministry of Finance. So they will have to go. And also the current leader of the prospective leader of the parliamentary group of the Social Democrats, Steinbrück, who was also candidate for Chancellor, he is not a Euromantic. And for example, he is against using the ESM for credits to banks. So I anticipate that the ESM will not give credits to banks directly, which has been considered, especially for Spain. So I think this will not happen, because the decisions in the ESM have to be unanimous, and Germany will not agree to it.